Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays Dead Cells. Two pieces of advice I'm gonna... First off, let me just say, I'm A, very lucky, and B, very stupid. This is not an either or, it's a both situation. I need to give the blueprints to the freaking dude in order to get them. I've gotten so many tweets, and it's... back in my mind, as I was playing these Dead Cells episodes, I was like, why do I keep getting the same blueprints? Because you gotta give them to the collector, you idiot. Luckily, we don't have like a 10-day backlog because the episodes take like an hour to produce anyway. But anyway. Now that I got that out of my system, people have been saying you should go faster if you make the timed doors. You get scrolls. I'm not gonna say it's necessary. Oh my God, cursed sword? Are you kidding me? I'm not gonna say it's necessarily a huge advantage. What I will say is that it probably does make up for skipping the scrolls that you find. So apparently, what a lot of people consider to be the ideal way to approach this... Oh, dude, we have to, and we have to. What some people consider to be the ideal way to play is find an exit. Let's go brutality. And then leave the first floor when you find both of your... Let's go. Both of the scroll spawns. Apparently there's only 2 per floor, or 2 per the first floor. So, in theory at least, we've already found our first 2 scrolls. Now just rest assured, your boy NL, not really trying to rush. Well, that's actually like patently completely false. Obviously I am trying to rush. But the big thing for timing's sake is that what do you really miss out on in the end? Dude, the double crossbow matic? I don't think we need it. Death Orb seems to synergize with Chaos Orb. We'd probably like to get the same color of synergy, but so be it. For killing every enemy, or, you know, for killing more enemies, I should say, we get gold. I got nothing against gold, but it's not necessarily the be-all, end-all in the whole scheme of things. Apparently, the other timed doors are also easy. It's really this first one that's the big problem. So I know we skipped treasure there. The thing is, I think, you know, people, they reasoned with me, and I think they're right. Open that door! They reasoned with me, and I think they're right. And what do I think they're right about? Well, I think they're right that, you don't really gain that much from treasure once you have a build. It's really your stats that drive a run. What you do gain, is a ton from scrolls. So the more we can improve our stats, the happier I am. I'm just gonna rush for a second here because I feel like one of these early on has a time. No! We still have 39 seconds. Let's go. I see that scroll. Rest assured. So every timed door does give us scroll access, is what I've been led to believe. One scroll is not worth as much as I would like, but that's okay. So now we can probably slow down just a little bit because we have an advantage. And by that what I mean is we've already hit this like first measure. The first milestone, I should say. So now if we want to take a... I'm not going to say a lot of extra time, but if we want to take a little extra time, we could probably, you know, justify doing so. You know what I mean? I think I've not been explaining myself very well so far. But my explanation hopefully rings true to some extent. We're gonna stop. Oh my God, we crushed the enemy with the with the elevator. We're gonna stop prioritizing accomplishing absolutely everything, and instead we're going to focus on the most important stuff, but also try to play very quickly. Maybe not hit every single enemy. That way we have more of a chance to get timed doors. And I mean, really, as long as we get more than 15,000 gold on a run before dying or winning, it doesn't really matter, does it? So I'm gonna go for the Nutcracker. Can't sell it, that's right. And, you know what? We could take our bow with infinite arrow. What was the other one? Acid Nerves? Not even nearly good enough. Get rid of that frontline shield. I totally believe in the power of this right now. And we left a kebab behind. We didn't leave any scrolls behind, so life's good right now. I think as long as we maintain a good pace, we should have a pretty reasonable chance of doing whatever we want to do. And now, I just realized, remember, we can wall climb now. If we get enough keys, we could go through that way, and I don't know if we could do something with the rose, but perhaps. Perhaps one day we'll figure it out. for now, though. Don't be an idiot. Just climb down. Or climb up, rather. Anyway, I'm, to be honest, on a personal level, very excited that, well, we might as well grab something and sell it, right? Enemies release a toxic cloud in the net. What's the damage? 31 damage a second, 61 damage per second, and bleeding as well. Sure, I'll get rid of the magnet grenade, I think, to make this happen. Plus, it scales with brutality, which I didn't even think about. Oh. What do we do? Gardener's key. Gardener's key. Hold up a second. Let's think. This is the first time we've ever been able to get this. I actually think I should go against my earlier advice and actually slow down. And even if we miss some time doors, at least we'll be doing our due diligence here, because it appears we've unlocked something new. But what I was gonna, or we have a chance to get something new, I should say. What I was gonna say is, on a personal level, you know, I would love Dead Cells runs to not be an hour to get to the chest where we then seem to die, or not the chest, sorry, the castle where we then seem to die, like, immediately. Which is my own fault, admittedly, but at the same time, if I could emphasize, but expedite is the word I'm looking for. If we could expedite the process and still get the same kind of advantage for, like, as if we explored everything, but without having to invest so much time in every single run. And it's not like I'm complaining about having to play something that's an hour long. It's only that it's an hour, and the first little bit of it, at least with the playstyle I was using, you know, the first bit of it was the same every single time, you know? Like, we were crushing it. In the early game, at least. What do you got for me? Survival +1? Sure. I always feel like Dead Cells, I get so mind-flooded when I'm talking that I become a lot less well-spoken, but I'm working on it. And by working on it, I mean, I'm hoping that those symptoms go away the more I play the game and get used to it. But who knows? So, classic mistake I've made so far. Should really be tossing... That seems like the right way to go to me. Should really be tossing our abilities around whenever feasible. Hello, my friend, with the second door. It's gotta be a teleporter, dude. It's the only explanation that makes sense to me. A better orb? How much more damage? It's the same damage. Huh? I don't want to spend on that. That's trashed here. We probably should get the sinew slicer at some point, but... So we have... Do you think the gardener's key is reusable? Because I'm trying to walk through, like... Smart. Trying to walk through on a logical level, like why... I would... Oh, wait. Let's see what we get here. Another gardener's key. Yo, disregard. Because what I was just going to say is we need more keys to be able to access that spot. Wow. Back there. And get whatever was inside of it. So I'm definitely, like, in the self-interest of going and trying to make that happen. I also don't think, like, we're going to miss too much. Anyway, the whole gist of this, like, 20-minute spiel is I appreciate you letting me know that you don't actually have to kill every enemy in Dead Cells. I may still continue to basically do that, but I now understand the value of the scrolls as well. You gotta cut me a little bit of slack, because it's not common. In most games, you're really heavily incentivized to check out, you know, everything that's available. So we definitely wanted the reduced cooldown there. Wow, bad timing. I think we're doing, like, really well on scrolls so far. 6 brutality up is really good. Was it the last run we had? It's been a couple of days since I played Dead Cells. Was it the last run we had where we had full purple synergies? If so, I don't feel bad about rocking a brutality synergy, which is just more fun. For me personally. What do you got for me? Another key down here, right? It's the only thing that makes any dang sense. Oh, it's gotta be the other gardener's key, dude. The prison depths, disregard. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just gonna do the briefest more exploration. At the risk of potentially not getting to some scrolls. I'm just gonna keep moving onwards here. Oh, hello. And stop making the classic mistake of not using any of your abilities. Even if you just want to alternate them, you know? Don't need to kill them all. I just want to see if we can get a third key and then maybe get that blueprint. So this leads to the ossuary. It's kind of neat how they gated the map. I like that a lot. Is this just the exit then? Yeah. As you can see, I've mastered wall jumping. Why are you just trying to... At this point, it would have been so much faster to just take the elevator. Okay, get the heck out of town. Grab this teleporter. The last thing I want to check back here is super key room. Good news! Super key room. And obviously we're going to go to the prison depths, which was a biome that I actually forgot ever existed. Do we need 3 keys? We need 3 keys. So you know what? We'll get it next time. Fair enough. We learned a little something about this area. I'm okay with it. I would like to go to the prison depths, please. We probably ruined any chance we had of getting to a timed door, but you know what? We got to our first timed door, and I think that that's what matters right now. We didn't get any new blueprints. Rest assured, I'm aware. Rest assured, I'm aware that we probably could have found the third key, although we might be missing something. I don't know. Might be missing another MetroidVania style ability. Not a good plan. Especially when you're on an unfamiliar biome to just rush ahead like that. What are you? Oh, you're the Spin Lord. Okay. Now's about the time where I'd like to start get. Oh, this guy drops a scroll. Now's about the time where I'd like to start getting a little bit more serious on this run. You know, ensuring that we actually do our best and approach fights in a logical and consistent fashion. Not going very well so far. Let's heal up and move along. Poor performance. I do not... Wow, we don't have a lot of money. Yeah, we're not exactly crushing it right now. He's not gonna make it. We're not exactly crushing it right now. We could use really like a lot of support from a multitude of different specific categories right now. Particularly... What happened? Oh no, I forgot about the Spider Lords! The absolute worst enemy in Dead Cell's history! Oh my lord. Okay, so how do you deal with these guys? Well, first off, knowing they exist is pretty important. Oh, and we have, invisibility popes. Come on. See, I don't remember these biomes from the first time we played the game. I know they existed. I just have no recollection specifically. Not smart damage. Fell right into my trap. Almost fell right into his trap. Okay, the prison depths. You know what? I'm trying to think. I'm on the prison depths. There was... Ooh. We want reds, though. Extra damage on a burning target. Not helpful. This is better. I'm willing to go for it. Yeah, why not? Gold's a little light, though. I'm thinking that there's that inmate that shows up. I forget on what level. But when the inmate shows up, he's like, give me my rune. Maybe his rune is down here? I mean, he is a prisoner. Didn't see a spider tank. Maybe we just need to have the power of positive thinking, you know? Oh, spider tank, my favorite. I really like this spider tank guy. We're getting rid of the oil grenades because they're, I've been told by good authorities they're not really worth much unless you have a fire grenade. And even then, you'd rather just have a second fire grenade. That's what I've been told, at least. A heavy turret, extra damage on a burning unit. If we're gonna have... Well, to be honest with you, I know I say that a lot. I don't know if we prefer the heavy turret to the death orb. Like, the death orb does more DPS. I guess it doesn't last as long, like and it travels, but... Just looking at it from a raw damage standpoint, which is what I'm gonna base my decision on. Doesn't seem that much of an upgrade. Dude, making it so these guys die fast enough that we don't have to deal with their summons is hugely valuable. And you know what? Just actually stepping to these guys with aggression is helping out so much. When you see one of them, don't be afraid. Oh, okay. What you gotta do is just get up in that grill. Smack them around a little. A better death orb. 231 damage a second. Fires a volley of arrows. Gives you a swarm of biters. It's expensive. It's really, really expensive. And I do worry we're gonna fall below that 15 grand threshold, but to be honest, all we need is one decent run to get it back. Because, interesting. Have you noticed, like, we've had some Dead Cells runs where we had, like, over 100,000 gold. Terrible decision-making on my part. What's the game plan? Oh, it's very simple. Just wait until you can use the Death Orb. Not too bad. Not too bad. Or should I say, not too shabby. Any Adam Sandler fans out there in the audience tonight? Any Sandlerites? Ooh, you know what? The prison depths. Technically just an extra floor. Okay. That's nice. If we can get some scrolls, at least. It's a very Northernlion-y thing to do, is be like, hey, we're going to do a fast run today, and then accidentally have the longest run I've ever seen. Which, to be honest, would be actually like a pretty huge positive for us. I'm sorry, Meat Grinder, but I want things that scale with red. Wait, Meat Grinder scaled with red, but this is more burst damage, which tends to be my style. You can only go to the ossuary from here. Is that true? I do see that area that's unexplored, but unperturbed. Yeah, let's go to the ossuary. Very fair to suggest we will not get any timed doors in all likelihood. Maybe, I don't know. We usually spend like 8 minutes on the first floor, maybe like 15 on the second, so. Still no new blueprints. I still want as much damage as possible. I feel like the brutality... It's going to be really hard to convince me not to roll the 2 brutality upgrades, or 2 brutality mutations, I should say, and then the cooldown reduction. So we're expecting like another semi-difficult floor, but a floor that very hopefully will have a lot of scrolls. That's my dream. Dude, not doing too bad here. To be able to kill those guys in 2 hits indicates we're in a pretty good spot, I think. Are these guys stronger or less strong? If only there was a word for that, for less strong. Convenient word. Maybe started with a good letter, like a W or something like that. I don't know. Can't think of one. Not off the top of my head, anyway. We don't need to heal yet. Famous last words. I'm feeling confident. Not confident we're gonna win, because that's like a little unreasonable, but definitely for now confident that we have we got all the available tools. Might want to pick up some. Oh, you know, I keep saying like we might want to pick up some levels of technique so we can use our cooldowns faster, or I keep wanting to say it and then not quite finishing my train of thought. But how can you be mad at the damage that we have right now? We're going toe-to-toe with the bow against enemies who got more strength than we can show. And yet our foes end up being shown the dough by my arrow. And some of those. I pointed to the arrows, or the bow, and I said, wait, what was I talking about? I forget. Sorry, I was possessed by the ghost of Walt Whitman briefly. You remember, famous rhymer Walt Whitman? Whenever you read a Walt Whitman poem, you're always like, my God, this guy, he's like the best rhymer of all time. He had a real talent. He should have been a rapper. That's what I've always said. If Walt Whitman were a rapper, what would his rap name be? If you said Dub Dub, congratulations. You're correct. And you're also as stupid as I am. Alright, good scrolls, good scrolls. Remember, we haven't even fought our first boss yet. Right now, it looks like we will absolutely crap on the unfinished one. Like, that dude is gonna eat butt. No comment, really, on how we're gonna fare against, how we're gonna fare against the assassin, because I honestly don't know. But if our damage is this good, and we can attack from range, I think we'd be, you know, pretty pleased with where we're at. Ooh, didn't even see this one. Is brutality survival? Straight up, I'm going brutality. If it's tactics survival, I'll take tactics, but... So I think the one thing we want right now, if we could swing it, is a non-death orb secondary item. Nah. We want a red scaling secondary or utility. So another cluster bomb, a fire grenade. The thing is, the Chaos Orb is good, even though it doesn't scale red. It's like the right call for us from a DPS standpoint, I truly believe. I could be proven incorrect, but it has definitely not happened yet. Like, the orb is doing great work for us. So, but if I could get, like, a red scaling option, I'd be very pleased. Heal up quick, just because you never know how this is going to go, right? Never mind, it was insanely easy. Oh, good, a cursed sword. If you get hit, you're dead. How about no? You know, I'll use Glass Cannon in Isaac, but I've been playing Isaac a long time. And even then, it's like, I hesitate to do so. I do see there's some kind of treasure up there, but... just keep rolling. Okay, well, you know... I have a feeling Otis shows up a lot here. You know, the elevator repair... Otis? Otis? Yo! Mattis Yahoo? No, not Mattis Yahoo. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Sure. We don't really want the arrows. So, extra damage on a poison target, albeit not exactly what we're looking for. Potentially not bad. Dude, the elevator repairs in here have to be out of control. I live in a building with a few elevators. 3 or 4 times a year, one of them goes down. They're always like, where's the elevator repair man? And like, oh, he's really busy. Elevator repair in this city is going out. It's like the best business. It's the most sustainable organization you could ever imagine. How your shield blocks the Chaos Orb. Of course it does. Sinew Slicer. Nah. One day. Weird. I actually thought that was going to be our exit, but we'll try. Fantastic. You'll forgive me. I feel like we were almost destined to die there. Unless you could, can you roll? You could roll through the saws. We probably should have considered that, considering it dodges, like, literally every bit of damage in the game. Oh, well. Like I said, dude, there's nothing I could have done. It's the game's fault. Dude, give me a curse chest. I'm not a baby. I want more scrolls. Bow and bow. It's extremely bad. That is not a good primary damage dealer. I also would not mind replacing the Nutcracker. You do scale red. Covers the victim in flammable oil. 185 damage per second plus 32 bleed. Cooldown is a lot less, sure. And it scales with red still, so I'll do it. Now, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, NL, you idiot. You asked for a red replacement for Death Orb, and then you replaced your red item instead of replacing Death Orb. To that, I reply, you're right, and I forgot, and I'm sorry. You know, I'm gonna put in the vote of confidence that it's worth spending the gold there. Now, we don't have too much left to explore. How far off were we? 11 minutes. We were too far off to get it, so I don't feel bad. Just finish this floor properly. Hopefully you'll kill the boss fast enough to not be too far behind. But, hey, you know, if this is you gotta put your money where your mouth is. Maybe I actually prefer to take my time on these runs. Or maybe it's an adjustment period or whatever. But, I would like for them to be a half hour long, but my actions, which I've been told speak louder than words, seem to forsake that. Got a little bit more left here. Honestly, this might be the Dead Cells run on which I've taken the least amount of damage through this point of the game. We're not getting hit very frequently. I kind of like this. 285 damage a second. Or we could go Toxic Cloud and then Death Orb gets double damage against a poisoned target. Covers the victim with flammable oil. I don't want vampirism. But it does release a poison cloud as well. Flashbang stuns nearby enemies for 2 seconds. I don't know. I kind of think we're where we want to be here. Let me out. We're totally ready to fight the boss. No question about that. And I'll do what I often do and probably just rely on the bow and my skills to actually finish this off. But so far, so good, for sure. We got a lot left to go. There's no question about that. Do we want to go to the Slumbering Sanctuary? I don't know. It was cool last time. Maybe. What gives us the most scrolls and also takes the most amount of time, because apparently that's how I choose to live my life. I mean, he's eating it. Should really just spam him more. It's like most of our damage is done in bursts. You see, like, the burst damage we do with the Death Orb? It's very hard for me to say that, like, that's not the right way to handle this run. Alright, tons of gold. Back to the collector. What are we asking for? Well, we probably have already... Oh, 3 minutes. Okay, if we speed up, we might be able to do something here. Give me a better meat grinder for now. And, I don't know, give me a better... Oh, give me, an ice grenade? Give me a better cluster bomb. Still got a ton of cells here. And then, what about bow and infinite arrows? Or sorry, infantry bow. We've already upgraded it, huh? In fact, we upgraded basically every red ranged weapon. I'm gonna go for a better nutcracker because we've been using it. And let's just take whatever sword ends up being the best. You know, we'll get broadsword. We'll check it out. Maybe give 9 souls to the other dude. Extra damage against a frozen target. Let's start here. Extra damage on a frozen target. Looks like we found our synergy. What do you think about a double meat grinder? Too much? I don't think so. Nutcracker. Fires an arrow in front of you. Toxic damage. I mean, it's definitely better. What about this cluster bomb? Extra damage on a frozen target. We gotta go for this freeze synergy then. Extra damage on a frozen target. We absolutely have to find, like, a frost blast. If we find a frost blast, I don't really want to do an ice grenade, but if we find a frost blast, we basically double our existing damage. Even if it's a ranged weapon that doesn't scale well with red, I think we'd still be pretty darn pleased. So briefly, I forgot about how this floor worked. A lot of tricky enemies here. Is our bow? I guess with the guaranteed crits, our bow is probably our best weapon, huh? Really begs the question of, like, your plan is to give up your best damage dealer. And I think, as backwards as it sounds, the answer is yes. Wow, not a smart idea. And the answer... 37 HP. The answer is yes, because if we have the ability to freeze, the broadsword's slow rate of fire isn't as bad, and it'll do a lot more damage in the process as well, but I'll admit, it's a funky floor right now. That was completely easy. Assault shield. Goodbye forever. But honestly, thank you for 5,000 gold. Got an ivy grenade, a bear trap. Ivy grenade does... Ooh, victims freeze nearby enemies for 1.8 seconds? And it's not an ivy grenade, that's a biter swarm. Upon death, enemies freeze nearby enemies. Yeah, so I'm gonna get rid of the cluster bomb then. Because the saw and this have the same recovery period. Do they have to die to the biter swarm in order to be afflicted? I do not know. Now, we did just take away one of the things that gives us extra damage. And it doesn't appear to have worked too well, because can't help but notice you did not freeze after your death. That's okay. We'll work with it. We're still in flux here. I would much prefer to be, like, set. But we're not there yet. Remember, these guys that are stone, we're gonna have to fight them pretty soon. Another elite. Completely content. I've made a terrible mistake. Sometimes running is the right option. I ain't even talking about running in the 90s. Swarm of biters crawls from your victim. How about you can bite my shiny metal, etc. You're slightly tankier than the other ones, huh? It's good to know for the future. Would have been even better to know for the past, but, you know, no big deal or anything like that. So we're almost at the point at which we stop getting HP for upgrading brutality. I mean, I don't know. Our freeze synergy seems kind of not great. to be honest with you. I think we want to pivot now. Even though we gave up a lot to get to this point, I think we'd be giving up essentially our odds of winning the whole run if we were to not pivot right now. And the pivot, oh, dude, I'll try. I'll level with you. I'm gonna try, but I'm a little wary about this one. Ooh, plus 1% health. Colorless? You take extra damage. It does a little bit of extra, but now we're just tossing it. Mostly, we do that for the scroll, let's be real. I don't want to go that way, because that's a nightmare. We may have to, but I'd prefer to do so after we stop being cursed. We have to. We have to do so immediately. Unless those guys are going to break it down. But I think they're more likely to... Oh, let's turn it up! Okay, be smart. This could well be the end of this run. Of course, it won't be, because I'm, like, actually a god of video games, but in theory, it could have been. Are there any enemies left? As backwards as it may sound, I would like there to be enemies. Because I don't want to head down to the next floor, replete with the knowledge that a single enemy that I might not be that familiar with can kill me. I'm going to start the level technique a little. Hello, my friend. Six remaining. You're about to get struck by lightning. I could have told you that. 4 remaining. Forgot about these guys. Holy crap! Yep, okay. Well, I did... You know, I've never seen that move to the best of my knowledge, and he got me. I really think... I freaked out. I was trying to fire, but they got me. I tried. That was a curse, a little bit of curse hubris. For now, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. It was a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. I think I'm going to do a little bit of a pseudo speedrun next time to try to get as many scrolls as possible, and I'll see you then.